and I think about the sales tax compliance team. Like, I feel like a little bit that's maybe a little bit of a dying career path because there's a back end automated compliance. If you set up the front end right, you could just review and not actually do all the returns. But from the legacy sales tax company, companies that collect sales tax, typically that was done by a human internally. And I was part of what we call the co-sourcing movement at Deloitte, where we would take over part and parcel of different functions. And then part of that team went to Vertex years ago, when we sold it to a part of it, somewhere else. So, but I thought part of why we got people to use our service was because people could go on a vacation. All they did was file tax returns all month, right? It was
Right.
so many and so much volume and so much data coming in to actually file that return. People can leave between the end of the month and the 20th when those filings were done, and then it started over again. So you found that it was really even a staffing problem, quite honestly.
It
I
was.
found going to market with that for many years at Deloitte. So understanding the client's challenges, and then people need to go on vacation and have sick time and things happen. And so if you're really counting on that one human or two humans to do things and you don't cross train, you're really going to run up against problems when things are due. So it's interesting that you manage the manual filing right from the beginning, and then maybe that went to automation, or you're like, these people are really good. They know what's going in this return. They could support my audit. I'm going to keep them until they retire. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really been an interesting transition, I think, in the
It,
workforce.
no, I think you're spot on with that comment because what you're describing is a single source of failure and a single source of success is what you're really
Hmm.
describing there. And what we always, if you think of finance groups and you think of the CFO, one of the things that the CFO is supposed to do is supposed to automate things and de-risk, any kind of procedures or highly repeatable transactions or functions within the finance group, and that's one of them. And what was probably a bad term, say 10 years ago, of outsourcing your returns or having a provider do those returns, that was always kind of a scary thing for folks in the tax department.
Hmm.
Today it's like table stakes, and you have to absolutely take everything that is sold, to calculating it or it's exempt, and then moving it through to the return and then actually storing it. And so all of those things just have to be done. They're required, and they actually fit the governance model much better than kind of the old way that you were describing there.